A major Medicaid fraud trial in Hennepin County is now canceled after the defendant disappeared. Authorities are searching for Abdirashid Said, charged for his role in an $11 million scheme. And as Lou Ragoose is here to explain, all it took was $150,000 to avoid the consequences. Lou?
Julie, it was a bail amount lower than prosecutors wanted, and it came with no guardrails. Abdirashid Said had his passport and technically no travel restrictions.
Part of our culture to help people.
Abdirashid Said is the original personal care assistant company fraudster who stole taxpayer money while claiming to operate out of this mailbox at an office on Central Avenue in Northeast Minneapolis. After he was convicted in 2021 and ordered to have nothing to do with companies that receive Medicaid money, other PCA companies took his place at the Central Avenue office, and Said started receiving checks from them.
Were those checks for employment for you, Mr. Said?
No.
What were they for?
Loans.
At a probation violation hearing, Said claimed the checks were loans, including to pay back his restitution in the first fraud case. Investigators didn't buy it, and they charged Said, along with the owners of the other PCA companies, of racketeering, a conspiracy to steal $11 million of taxpayer money, uncovering text messages between them saying things like, "I'm going to overbill the hours."
No, Your Honor. Our culture is we trust one another.
Prosecutors also charged Said with perjury, and his trial Monday was set to be the crowning moment in the state's long investigation. But according to multiple sources, he has instead successfully fled the country. How? He had no travel restrictions. At a bail hearing after he was charged, prosecutors wanted to set bail at $1 million, but Judge Juan Hoyos gave Said two options: a $50,000 bond where he gives up his passport, or a $150,000 bond with no conditions. Said opted for the higher amount, and he kept his passport. Attorney General Keith Ellison in a statement saying, in part, "This is a deeply frustrating setback. However, I remain committed to doing everything I can to hold Said and the other Medicaid fraudsters accountable."
Also in the statement, Ellison said that they're working with federal law enforcement to try to locate Said and bring him to justice. My sources tell me that they don't know what country Said ended up in. One last thing, Julie, I just in the last hour discovered a document that the Attorney General's office filed before that bail was set, where they warned that Said's family lives in Kenya, his wife and his kids, and they worried that he would try to run.
I mean, I can just almost feel people at home shaking their head, pulling their hair out. Why were there no travel restrictions? And also, what is $150,000 to someone who's allegedly stolen millions?
Right. Well, an unconditional bond means just that. There's no conditions on it. He could fly back and forth as much as he wants, technically. And remember, this is a state case, not a federal case. If it was a federal case and it's happened, a red flag would fly up as soon as they book a flight, and then agents could go to the airport and arrest him before he boards the plane. But that's TSA.
The state has no such relationship with TSA.
Exactly. It's federal agencies talk to each other.
Because we had talked about this when all these trials began a few years ago. What's going to stop these people? We know so many of them purchased property in Kenya. What's going to stop them from fleeing? And you do think that federal relationship with TSA has stopped at the federal level?
We've reported on arrests that have been made at the airport, even on the tarmac.
Well, what about the state level? Do you think this will change going forward, where Ellison now say we want to keep passports, we want to make the...
I don't know that it's Ellison's choice. I know that they did push for the higher bail, so they wanted the higher amount in the first place. As far as that communication, I don't know where that goes from there.
So frustrating. Lou, thank you.